in it, so come join me. So in the aircraft, as you can see already, the functional space is a lot larger. So the ability to actually provide care and deliver appropriate care in the helicopter can be attained. We also have 3 different ways that we can configure this aircraft to meet our patient's needs. So if we needed to really get off of a scene very quickly, we could load the patient and go. We also have the ability to turn the patient on a diagonal. And what that does is that if we had to perform any advanced procedures, it gives us the best ability to perform the procedures with the best technique. So for our paramedics putting in breathing tubes, for instance, this would be an optimal place for our patient to be, and we're very fortunate to have this capability. I'm just going to move over here as well. Another way we can configure our aircraft is to put it in this north-south configuration as well. But this will probably be what we're going to do every day. We also have the ability in this aircraft to move the seats. All right. And we can also swivel. So that can also add access to the patients on either side. So in the BK, we actually can only access the left side predominantly, and then we'll reach over into the right side. So this allows both the paramedic and the nurse to provide care to the patient throughout the flight. So that's exciting. The last thing here is we have our equipment mounted on a stretcher bridge. So what this does is it allows us to secure our equipment safely during the flight. So just like when you're on a regular airplane, everything needs to be stowed and carefully secured. So the same thing goes for in a helicopter. In the BK, we'd have to secure these different equipment pieces in different areas. So keeping it all together allows us to transfer the patient a little bit more easily and allows that time to be set on the transfer rather than moving equipment around. So as you can see, all of our equipment is in the back as well. It's safely stowed back there. So that's safer for us and the patient as well. And anything that we don't need, we can safely stow back there. So we're looking forward to it. Our colleagues have spent a significant amount of time designing and preparing for this. So we're looking forward to that, and we're looking forward to taking care of patients in this aircraft. So that's it from me. Back to you, Andrea.
Thanks, Sherry. So what might not be...
Aircraft has a dual 3-axis autopilot and a dual 4-axis flight director. It's a fully duplicated system with a active-active fail-safe redundant design. Okay, I guess you guys don't understand what that means. So on the current helicopter, on the BK117, someone has to always have their hands on the controls, flying the aircraft at all times. If they don't, the aircraft falls down and goes boom. But with this one, you can actually use the autopilots and it'll fly for you. So for example, one night a few years ago, 2 of our pilots, well actually sorry, the whole crew, was called out to support Edmonton Fire Department. A car drove down the embankment and into the North Saskatchewan River and was stuck in the ice and partially submerged. And the Edmonton Fire Department, because of the trucks up on the hill, they couldn't illuminate the scene for recovering and rescuing the occupants and securing the vehicle. So they asked stars to come out and illuminate the scene with their searchlight. So with the BK117, 2 of our pilots had to hover over the scene at night in the dark for 90 minutes, illuminating the scene with their searchlight, with a very bright searchlight for them. Now, if they'd had the 139 with its captured alien space technology, they could have just hit a button and selected hover, and the helicopter will actually hover for you. Now, all my coworkers can attest that besides being a very humble person, I'm also the best helicopter pilot they've ever seen. And I can honestly admit that this helicopter can hover better than I can. The other one, too, is previously I was talking about how we can fly in the cold and in the clouds now. Well, with this aircraft, it can also fly the approaches, the instrument approaches down out of those clouds and get us down to that heliport or that runway, and it'll actually come to a hover, decelerate, and come to a hover over top of the runway once it comes out of the cloud. So that's rather amazing. And the last item, I'll keep it one more. Okay, one more. The last item is for all my years of flying. I've never been able to see, while I sit in the cockpit, I've never been able to see the most dangerous area of my aircraft. And that's at the back. The tail rotor right at the back. It's an excellent and efficient tool for removing heads from people's bodies. But now, with this aircraft, we have cameras throughout this aircraft, and we should have a shot up on your screen there. You can see around the helicopter. So unfortunately, on dark Alberta nights, a lot of people work around our aircraft. We have EMS, fire department, law enforcement personnel, and they're all working very close proximity to our aircraft. They're loading patients, securing the scene, escorting patients. And now with those cameras, we'll be able to see what they're doing and make sure we don't have any problems. So it'll be much safer for everybody working around this aircraft. Those are 4 things. So speed, de-icing, the autopilots, and the cameras. That's only 4 amazing items. There's lots more. If you want to know about them, come talk to us. But Andrew doesn't want me to bore you with all this pilot stuff.
Thanks, Jay. And